Hey, it's Lewis Michael. Thanks for listening. Are you a creator that would like to reach out to our fans with a custom ad? As a comic book artist and podcaster myself, Geeking Around Podcast is here to help other creators advertise their projects. Not only will you get a audio and video ad, you will get a social media ad campaign as well. Click on the Fiverr Fiverr link in the description. Start advertising today. Hello, this is Lewis Michael.
And this is Gabby Christensen, your co-host.
And welcome to the podcast. One, two, three.
Hello and welcome back. I'm your co-host, Gabrielle Christensen.
And I'm Lewis Michael.
Welcome back to another episode of Geeking Around. This week we'll be covering Bleach, New Breasts from Hell.
Yep. Make sure to like and subscribe and check out the links in the description. And got cool stuff like the Geeking Around webcomic and my Star Wars fan comic, Kira, and Star Wars story.
I have a link where you can buy t-shirts. There is a t-shirt with the chibi design on it. It's very cute, very cool. We'll hop right into the random section. This week in Jiu-Jitsu, I learned it's very important when you have someone's arm controlled and you're in their guard that you also get up on the same side that you have their arm controlled on. You don't want to post your knee on the opposite side or they will flip you. Also, I found a new weeaboo dating simulator. It's a lot better than Tinder. It's like Otaku Tinder. You just keep swiping left on people or right on people. It is fun though, because you do have like your little paywall or your timeout wall where you have to wait for you to get so much time recharge, watch an ad and get jewels, or you can buy that too if you're willing to spend the money. And so I just kind of want to pretend now that if I ever get on Tinder that like after 3 sentences people are just going to start asking me for money, and I'll be like, listen bro, I can't send you 15 diamonds, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all those damn days apps there. I was like, hey, send me a gift, you know, it'd be a virtual gift and stuff, and it's like okay, how about this one? And it was like 5 corns, you know, like, you know, which equal to like a penny in real money and stuff. Like, no, send me one of this, and it's be like a $30 gift, and I'm like, no.
That's pretty much what these chats do. Maybe they are. I was giving them a hard time, but I keep hearing from people that no, dating sites kind of are like that anyway. People legitimately do ask you for money after a while. So
yeah, don't go on dating sites.
Nope, just download otaku games where you're kind of guaranteed to get the outcome you want if you spend enough money. Kind of like a dating site. Maybe they might ghost you though.
I was listening to this podcast called Nine Club. I have no idea why they call it Nine Club, because that's a golfing term, but it's a skateboarding podcast with a bunch of famous skateboarders talking about skateboarding and watching videos of skateboarding. I listen to it at work, so I don't know what they're watching. A lot of times they will have interviews with other skateboarders and stuff. Like the last one they just did was with like Danny Way, and he was like one of the biggest, still is one of the biggest, especially in the 90s and 2000s, early 2000s. So when I was really into skating. But anyway, there was this one interview with this really young guy. Can't remember his name. It was like Jolly. I don't know. I think his name was Jolly or something. What was very interesting with him was that he started to make skateboard videos with his friends and stuff and start uploading it to YouTube. And they was like in middle school and high school or whatever. And and he started getting the actual following and stuff. And like when he graduated from high school, his mom like forced him to like threw him in the car and took him to college. and like as soon as she left, he went back and started skating and he actually go. And he's like, no, Mom, look. And he shows him. Well, when he went back home, she was yelling at him for not going to college and stuff. He showed him the check that he got from YouTube.
Right.
He's like, see, I already got a job. And she like, oh, okay, well, there you go. And this was in high school. So throughout his high school, he was just making skate videos and stuff. Like he said that he was probably more like a part-time minimum wage job. But that's popular for a high school kid, you know?
Yeah, it's better than having to bag someone's groceries.
Yeah, and by the time he graduated in high school and stuff, he was making enough money for himself, and he got a big following and stuff, a lot of subscribers and stuff on YouTube, and he got attention to a really famous skateboard photographer and stuff, and he started promoting this kid's videos on his own YouTube channel and stuff. And from there, it's all about him actually getting hired from a skateboard company to be the video photographer and stuff. And now he's working in Hollywood. And it's just like, and he's like only like, I think they said like 22.
Nice.
So I mean, like, I don't know, it just like going back to listen to all these YouTubers like, oh, we don't make no money and blah 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 and this and that, you know. Like one thing he got really famous for, I kind of skipped over, that he actually made the full length skate video for digital for YouTube, like an hour and a half long.
Oh.
And because before it was all just, you know, 5 minutes clips or a minute, you know, clips and stuff. But
or somebody interrupts skateboarders while they're skating. Videos.
Yeah, and you know, and it just, yeah, and he got really famous, and it like the most viewed skateboard video on YouTube and stuff. And so that's kind of got him where he got to Hollywood and stuff.
Pretty cool. I mean, I guess once you move to Hollywood, I don't know if you could afford to live out in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So your money you get from YouTube might be like, I don't get any money though. I get $10,000, but I have to pay $12,000 out. So
yeah. Well, another thing that you know, these YouTubers not really telling you when they tell you like how much money. Well, they normally don't tell you how much they're getting paid from YouTube.
Right.
From YouTube, but a lot of it's actually the not the ad revenue stuff, but actually the sponsorships that they get. Like, oh, today's video is sponsored by blah blah, you know, and shit. What is that? Raid Shadow Legend.
Yeah,
that's a big one.
And right now it's the every time you hear them, they're talking, they'll be like, speaking of great listening, and then they'll be like, I got these earpods that I can't remember the Raycon earbuds. How could I forget Raycon earbuds?
But yeah, a lot of that, and also affiliate links. I watch a lot of YouTubers that does a lot of tech videos, so like they like be reviewing or unboxing like the new iPhone or something. They put the link, the Amazon link, in the description, and if someone wants to buy it after watching the video, they can click on that link, and even if they don't actually buy that particular product, if they do buy something on Amazon in that same time period that they
through that link that they clicked on, so if they don't close that browser,
as long as they don't close that browser and like, oh well, maybe I don't need an iPhone today, but I do need a new charger, and buys a new charger, I mean, you won't probably get much because chargers aren't that expensive, but
yeah. Or if they even go on there and they're like, man, I could really use some tea. I see that's recommended for me right now, so.
And a bunch of other stuff that they do, so. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was kind of cool, and also kind of pissed me off. You know, because like when I was in high school, you couldn't do that. Like YouTube was a thing, but you couldn't make money off of YouTube. And you know, like I think there was a few people on the internet that was making some money that will like end up being YouTubers and stuff, but not really anyone. It's a pretty new concept thing, and
it is.
It really exploded, and then I think now it kind of saturating a bit.
That's what's gonna suck for the kids that are in high school. Well, yeah, they're in high school and younger now that are like, man, it sucks. Back in the day, you could put your videos on YouTube and get money, and now you can't. So.
Well, like when they first started doing it, anyone can sign up and start making money, but now you gotta have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 view counts and stuff, and it's like, man, before you just sign up and you could do it,
right? Because it usually would rely on the algorithm, and then if you had a video that did do really well, that's how you get your subscribers. But until then, you can make it by kind of pennies. But
yep, I was glad to hear that the full length video that this skateboard kid did actually kind of sucked. My cousin was telling me that. I'm like, okay, that made me feel so much better. I was getting pissed off. I'm like, wait, this kid did the but yeah, I thought it was real interesting, and yeah, Samsung Galaxy Fold and Flip came out.
Yeah,
it was leaked, and then they finally actually announced it.
Yeah, they're trying to convince me to buy it. I have a Samsung phone, so I'll get the ad that'll pop up and be like, oh yeah, right now. Turn in your phone and pre-order.
Finally got the phone finally got the pen on it.
Good.
But still, like, the screen is like very soft because you gotta fold it.
Yeah.
So said the experience is not as good on a Note, but it's still pretty good. And $1,800.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you get a phone and a tablet, so I mean, once you buy a phone and a tablet, I mean, it'd be probably more than $1,800.
If you do want, although the question would be if your phone that is also your tablet is as good as an individual phone, then an individual tablet. Can you do as much on there, or are you cut back on what you can do? So.
Yeah, I think the camera's not as good as like the main flagship Samsung Galaxy, but I mean, it's probably good enough.
Yeah. Interesting. I would say I get on that, but I think I'm gonna wait for my phone to die, and it's still doing well. So.
Speaking more about tech, Microsoft, there was a patent, and then while rumors saying this will be the Surface Book 4, but it won't be called the Surface Book. It'll probably be called the Surface Laptop Studio. So what it's supposed to be is like Microsoft Surface Studio, the desktop.
Yeah.
But like as a laptop, so like the screen on the desktop kind of folds down to like a drawing tablet.
Right.
This will do the exact same thing. So it kind of comes out and down. So I'm like, oh, well, that's cool. And I guess like the main reason why they're doing this is because it can make the computer much more powerful. I always thought the Surface Book was powerful enough, but I guess because of the 2-in-1, like you can detach the screen from it, because it's so thin, you can't put a big like graphics card into it. So I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. It's gonna be pretty expensive, but I think it'd be worth it for me as an artist. That'd be probably worth it.
Yeah, if you already have something you're doing that you can put towards it.
Then there's rumors of a new Mac Mini Pro. You're gonna have the M1X in it, so it'll be much more powerful, and said there might be more ports on it and stuff. That's cool.
Yeah.
Mac Mini.
Speaking of new things, and we were talking about Masters of the Universe kind of earlier in passing. There is the He-Man. He-Man CGI.
Yeah, the Fortnite one.
Yeah.
It looks like Fortnite.
I'm not sure how I feel about how Skeletor looks in that one. I'm gonna have to watch it and see, I guess. Speaking of things on Netflix to watch and see, have you ever watched Sweet Tooth? I think that's been out for a while, but...
No, I haven't, but yeah, it's been out for a little bit.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting watch. So is brand new cherry flavor.
My sister watched that one. Like, she didn't really say anything.
Yeah, that was pretty different. I liked it.
They had the American Horror Story spin-off of American Horror Story.
Yeah.
Like, each episode is a different episode. And there was the last one. It's a Hulu exclusive. And the last one was about a mom who quit her job, put a mortgage on the house, and bought the model house that was from season 1 of American Horror Story, so that she can make a game based off the American Horror Story. Like, in this universe, like, the show isn't like a show in there as well. Like, it's supposed to be real life. You know what I mean?
Right.
And but yeah, she just just randomly, quit her job, took a mortgage out, spent $1 million to buy the house and stuff, just so she could make a game for her son, because American Horror Story is his favorite show, and she wanted to bond with him more. So all the models out there who didn't make their son.
No, what kind of bonding are we talking about, Michael? That seems a little too much. Is that one of those creepy moms? We always talk about the creepy dads, but this
creepy.
It never does, but as soon as someone starts dropping money like that, now honey, you can't ever leave the home.
She's yeah, it was really weird and stuff. And like, after we watched it, my sister called my mom, and she's like, why didn't you make us a game? And she hangs up the phone and is like, my mommy doesn't love us. Yeah, she didn't make a video game for us. Yeah, my mom minor didn't computer, so
yeah, she could have.
Yeah, no excuse.
She wouldn't even have to sell anything. She already had the degree. She could just work on it. That's kind of the weird thing about that stuff, where they're like, they don't have any like pre-planning. They just go for it in TV shows. It's not like they sit there with a part-time job for a while and work it. No, they just one day just sell everything, and they're like, okay, we're gonna go 110. Granted, it's a horror show, so I'm guessing that might be part of the plot. I don't know. Weird.
Speaking of which, like you were saying, like people just like up and build a video game and stuff. Like that podcast I was listening to in the 9 Club Skateboarding and stuff. Like Danny Way, and there was like a bunch of others. Like every other interview is like this. It's like they all just like was sitting around in the mom's basement smoking pot and like, hey dude, yeah dude, you want to start a skateboard company? Yeah dude, okay. Then next thing you know, they're making $4,000 a month, off of. And it's like, wait a minute, how did you get to that part? Like, where did you get the money? Because they all talk about how they came from poor, families and stuff, and like, where did you get the money from to start? It was like, oh yeah, we did this and that. We had our own clothing line. We was talking to guys from Tokyo to create our shoe
Why is
shoe
it
line.
Always dudes from Tokyo every time?
Well, there was one Canada.
Oh, okay.
There was one. They'd be asking like, how old was you when you guys created? I'll say Flip, because Flip is one of the biggest skateboarding companies out there, and my favorite. It's like, how old was you when you started Flip? Yeah, I was like about 15, 16. It's like, wait, what? It's like I was asking my cousin, like how, and this was like the 90s and stuff when the guys was doing it. I'm like, how did, like how? I just don't understand. Like, it's literally, they would be in an interview and like, yeah, me and my buddy Johnson was sitting around in my mom's basement smoking pot, and then boom, we made a skateboard company.
I think maybe it's because back in the 90s and all that, business regulations was a lot more lenient on that kind of stuff.
Anyone could just start something.
I mean, it's kind of like the story about this girl in Chicago in the 2010 era, who she wanted to sell cupcakes for people to raise money for cancer awareness and stuff, and people really loved her cupcakes, so she had her own little company and stuff. And then the health department came in and shut her down because technically she was doing it out of her mom's kitchen, even though she wasn't actually selling and it was for not-for-profit for cancer. They shut her down. So it's just, I feel like in the 90s that could have been her been like, I started selling cupcakes out of my mom's kitchen, and then in 3 years I was empire mogul, and I had 5 blocks that are all producing my cupcakes now in this factory.
All these skateboarders quit their companies and went and started another company.
Yeah, you do that business.
They all did. Like, I was like, he was doing fine. Like, what? I mean,
usually I think that's kind of the goal of business: is you start a company, you grow it enough, and then somebody comes in and offers you more than what the company's currently worth, or about what the company's currently worth, and you go ahead and sell it. And if the company does better, your name's still attached to it, in theory, to start something new. And if it tanks, well, then you've cut off from that. So you keep your money and you can retire and do whatever you want.
I hate skateboarders.
You hate yourself then, because you are one, Michael.
Yeah, not really. Once a month kind of thing.
Just like a werewolf.
Yeah. The witch on, what was it called? Nightmare something on Netflix, the anime film. That was pretty awesome. And the guy who played Hector from Castlevania is the same voice actor as the main guy on Vesemir, who is the Obi-Wan to Garrett of Rivia. So it kind of prequel leading up to the live action The Witcher series on Netflix, and it was really awesome. A lot of other from Castlevania voice actors are on there too, and like the guy who played Dracula's on there. Pretty awesome. So if you like anime, you like The Witcher, check that out.
Very cool.
Would have done a review on that, but I didn't have the time.
So there's your mini recommendation anyway.
Maybe sometime soon I have the time.
I guess we can get on to reviewing our main topic then. Bleach No Breasts from Hell. Bleach, created by Tite Kubo, has long been considered one of the finest manga series of all time. If you're looking for a fantastic action manga, a deep delve into the paranormal, or just a cast of lively characters, Bleach is the manga for you. The series was part of the Big Three, but once it ended, there was nothing else until now. The one-shot appears to signal newfound hope for the series' future. Judging from the title of this new manga, and with much speculation found throughout the internet, it is almost certain that this is the start of a new arc for the manga series. Ichigo and his friends are back in the latest one-shot manga, released on August 9th, 2021. While at a friend's cafe, Renji invites Ichigo to a special event the Soul Society is holding. This special event is an ancient ritual called Kanzo Ritai, where they slaughter hollows at a specified place in honor of the fallen Soul Reaper captains. However, Ichigo and the rest of the Soul Reapers learn there is more to the ritual than what it seems, as an old forgotten enemy appears. Since the end of the original manga, many fans wondered what happened to their favorite characters. This new Bleach one-shot does an excellent job of balancing out between new and old characters. Fans will be pleased to find many of the side characters one may not expect to see are there as well, including Ikaku, Yamachika, Rengaku, and many more. No Breasts from Hell one-shot is a fun way to catch up with old characters. No Breasts from Hell is very much Bleach-like in all aspects. The popular manga is known for its great character designs featuring sleek, cool, and powerful designs, which is here in the new one-shot. However, some character designs were silly and over the top. The artwork is also classic Bleach. The one-shot continues the manga's unique flair and shows Kubo's passion for art behind each panel. The panel flows well into each other, causing the action throughout the manga to communicate well. This one-shot special introduces Hell as a canon idea as opposed to the Hellverse film, and reintroduces a long-forgotten enemy. While the themes presented in this chapter are great, the characters they pick to return is somewhat forgettable, and the context of the arc, in the context in the arc in which he occurred. Nonetheless, the arrival of such a figure was both unexpected and exciting because of the implications. No Rest from Hell was a nice comeback to Bleach. It includes catch-ups with a huge cast of people and explores themes that are too big for a single episode. With this brief return to Bleach, I was pleased with what I saw, and I'm interested to see whether a new arc emerges from this one-shot. Yeah, I agree with that captain. I could not remember that captain for the life of me when it showed up. The spoilers, of course.
Yeah, when we get to this spot, there's more. It's spoilers and stuff. You do a deep dive.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed it. But yeah, I couldn't remember when the captain shows up and it's just like, you guys remember me? And I'm like, no, I don't.
Espada. He was an Espada.
Was he an Espada? Okay.
Yeah, he was the scientist one with the pink hair.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I had to look that up just to write this. I'm like, who the hell is this guy?
The way that it read, it seemed like he was a former captain, but okay.
Yeah, no, he's at the very end when you see that giant skeleton coming out. Like, that's the captain.
Sweet. Okay.
But yeah, that didn't really translate really well.
No, not in the was it Viz that has that, Viz Media that has or Shonen Jump had it for free on there. So yeah, that was one of my favorite fights, was that Espada versus who's the crazy scientist in Bleach.
I can't remember his name.
I'll have to.
He was in the manga, one shoot.
Because I love that man to death. He scares the hell out of me. Miori?
Yeah, Miori.
Yeah. I love that fight between them. Because Miori's just one of my favorite characters. Because he's just such a creepy weirdo and very unapologetic about it the whole time. But I think that's kind of the point. I don't think you're supposed to like him.
Yeah.
But then all of us, slasher idiot fangirls, I forget what they call fangirls of slasher characters. I think that our community appreciates him when our community is strange, to say the least.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say, really. What I already said in the review. This is my first time actually writing a review for a manga or a comic book thing, and so it was really hard to write it.
I really liked the introduction of Ichigo's son, because you didn't really know, because I don't recall at the end of the manga series if you do know if Ichigo and Orihime get together or not. So it was nice to see Orihime with their son. And then it's kind of weird to me, but I kind of adore at the same time that Renji and Rukia named their daughter Ichiga. That's such a that's like your best friend's name being Bob, and you're like, yeah, we really love Bob and we had a daughter. So you're like, oh, okay, so you just named your daughter Bob or Bobby. They're
wasn't Ichigo meant to be a female's name? Because it meant like strawberries?
Yeah.
Or something like that?
Yep, and he had strawberry hair, so he thought it was a sick name. But yeah, Ichiga. And then it's just kind of like having your daughter. Nah, this is my daughter. Her name's Baba. It's like, what? Okay. But
Tina.
I liked her character a lot. I'm intrigued to see where they're going to go with that, considering that she could see the spirits and that Ichigo's son was the one who opened the gates to hell. Because why, kid?
Yeah. Like I said, this sets up, like, there's so many questions that go unanswered, and that this cannot be just a one shoot, really. This is a plot pilot episode where it sets everything up for the future TV show, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I mean, I hope so too, because I've seen a lot of one-shots that probably should have stayed. Like Boruto would have been a nice little one-shot, but it probably could stay in one-shot, because the other One Piece is still going on. Naruto has Boruto, but then it would be nice to see Bleach get back.
Yeah.
And then Inuyasha has Yashahime, season 2 coming out in October.
So, first time we saw Rukia, I didn't recognize her. I'm like, who's this? But until this one panel of her, and I'm like, okay, that is Rukia. Because, like, she had long hair and stuff, and, like, and she was like really happy and stuff. And like, that's not Rukia. Did Rukia change that much?
She was kind of happy in the second part of Bleach. I guess I'm calling it the second part, where Ichigo gets back after fighting Aizen. He's lost all of his powers.
Oh yeah, that's where they find out he's actually a Quincy, and
yeah.
Then the next arch, he's actually some Jawman thing. I don't know. It
yeah.
was a Jawman name group. Like, oh no, Ichigo, you one of us. It was like each story arc. It was like telling Ichigo, like, oh no, you're a Soul Reaper. Oh no, you're a Bison. Oh no, you're a Hollow.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're a Spada. Oh no, you're a Quincy. Oh no, you're something else.
You're actually this such and such king of the Quincy's children thing. Yep. Yeah, it's I recognized Rukia like right off the bat. It was Ichigo, who I couldn't figure out who in the world Renji was talking to on the cell phone because he didn't say who he was, and I'm like, who is this dude? Because he didn't have his spiky hair. It was kind of slicked back and stuff, and I'm like, alright, who's the random dude at this cafe that they're talking to? And then it said it was Ichigo, and I'm like, really? Really?
What was Ichigo's job? It
don't know.
It didn't really explain, but like when I was reading other like reviews and stuff about it, they're like, oh yeah, he's a translator.
Oh yeah, then, it did kind of say that. And then
I was reading another one where he was an editor or something, and that's why he was there at the cafe to write a piece about it. I'm like, where are you guys reading this shit at?
I think he was at the cafe to
it was his
friend, but I think he was an English translator.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember that now. That I thought that was kind of cute little pun because Rukio's just like, well, where's Orihime? Oh, she's at home. Oh my god, you're an abusive asshole. I'm like, oh my god, Rukia, calm down. Don't let her watch TV. Apparently.
Oh yeah, she's like, oh, so you one of those husbands that let your wife do all the work at home while you go out and have fun.
Yeah, she's like, I bet you're emotionally abusive and you no longer have a loving relationship. And he's just like, what? Renji's like, yeah, sorry, she found TV. Yeah, that was, I mean, Rukia was still Rukia enough with the whole, well, I got this old cell phone, I don't really need a new one. Like, yeah, it sounds like Rukia.
Yeah.
Old-timey.
Yeah, that's one thing I thought about Rukia, like, having such a problem with her phone and stuff, and like the fall season stuff, and then she was so excited to see that it was a video call that Renji was doing with Ichigo and stuff, and she was trying to figure it out, and I thought that was like kind of good call back to back then.
Yeah, I also like the fact that they brought back Hell, because I do remember, that was like of course it would probably be like what everyone's favorite episode during the first season, where Rukia is trying to save that kid Soul who's trapped in a parakeet and he's getting hunted down by the Hollow who killed his mom. So she's running and she's trying to save him. She doesn't have her full spiritual powers yet, so she has to open a gate to hell to drag him in. It always stuck with me, so I'm glad that that's a plot point coming back. Because she said for vile people like you, the only fitting place to go is straight to hell, straight to judgment. So I always thought that was a neat thing, and they didn't do that very often for such a overpowered spell, it looked like, and so now maybe we'll get to kind of know why.
Yeah, the artwork and stuff was classic Bleach, and like I said, no different from, because I went back and read at least the false chapter of Bleach, and it's like, yeah, this pretty much the exact same, you know. It's better on, it's like was the very false episode or chapter. But yeah, you can still see how good his artwork and stuff was.
Yeah.
Like, one of the things I really like about a lot of his stuff is like they had those panels of these really wide shots and the Soul Society or the town that the Ichigo lives in, Kuakua town or something like that. And like really beautiful shots and stuff. And I just don't really see it that much in manga.
Yeah,
anymore.
You don't really see establishing shots, and just kind of place to place to place. And
I actually saw someone on Facebook, one of the comic book creators groups that I was in, asking like about like why are there shots like this and stuff, and like as establishing shot. Like, so you know where the settings is. It's like, how did you not know this? I don't know. According to Facebook, I don't know anything.
According to Facebook, no one knows anything. We must obey our overlords.
Dude, this one guy invited me to a group chat with other creators and stuff, and I can't quite remember what we was talking about. He sent me a link to a YouTube video of how to learn how to draw comic books and how to get it published and everything. I'm like, have you not read? Like, I thought you guys read my comic. Like, I don't understand why you send this to me. It's like, oh, this could be helpful for you. I'm like, with what? I already created my comic book, got it published and everything. What? I'm like, all right, I'm out, and I stopped the group chat.
Maybe he was thinking more like more widely published and like a video. Traditional.
Yeah, but it wasn't. That's not what the video was about.
Oh.
And the guy that sent it to me, like his artwork looks like Timmy Tonal from Family Hot Parents and stuff. I'm like, you don't tell me how to draw. I mean, all right, I'm out. But plus, the guy seemed like he was one of those people that really loved the Disney Star Wars, and he always said something too about how he does not like the toxic fans. He always had to mention that, and I was only in this group chat for like 2 days or something, and throughout that 2 days he'd done it quite a few times where anytime when someone mentioned Disney, Star Wars, Disney, or even Marvel, he was like, yeah, I don't really care for the toxic fans. I'm like, okay.
Alright. You're gonna find toxic fans in any fandom. Fandom. That's
why I said. But anyway, more about that later on in the news. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one shoot of Bleach. I really liked the new hollows that they had in it. I thought that was a really neat design, really cool design.
It did really bring back that fresh general. Bleach was good at that though. Like every time they had a new villain, Kobo was very good at making them seem very imposing and threatening. Even though Ichigo's powered up as hell, they always make the villains look really cool. In some shows, it just kind of hit and miss.
Yeah. I mean, there are some of his character designs that are a little bit too over the top and silly. Like some of the Espadas.
Yeah.
Some of them, the lower ones, was wait, what? It was like a disco guy with an afro and everything, and I'm like, okay.
He's just living his best life, man. His best death life.
What was that one in the visor, gay one? And, he's super big, tall.
So all I can remember is the Scorpio one.
Scorpio?
Yeah, it literally turned into a Scorpio, giant scorpion monster.
I don't remember that. I gotta watch Bleach again.
Yeah, I do too. It's been a minute, so.
Yeah, it's been a while since I watched the film, Hellfall's film.
But yeah, it's great. I'll be glad to see it come back. Hopefully it does. Hopefully Kubo's doing good health-wise and everything.
I read a little bit of his new series, Bond the Witch. I guess it's supposed to be in the same universe.
Really?
Not in the same universe?
I would think not. No. That would be crazy. Because I seen, Crunchyroll had a couple of episodes of it. Or, the first episode. That'd be crazy as shit if it was. I'd have so many questions if that was in the same universe.
But also, one thing, and I think this is just manga in general, but this is what I always have a problem with comic books in general, too, but, with Bleach and stuff, does it seem to you that there's a lot of, word bubbles, a lot of reading?
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking at other mangas, just flipping through them and seeing them, oh, these are also really word heavy too.
Yeah.
And it's okay, maybe all mangas are.
Yeah, you kind of get your dialogue dump every once in a while. I mean, I think there's some pages in Naruto, if I can remember right, the manga, that literally is just words, background and then words. explaining things. I'm trying to think of a manga that I've read that isn't like that. And I'm saying that, and then I no, even More Than Meets the Eye, which isn't a manga, it's a comic book, same thing. There's just sometimes, I guess the only way to express somebody's thoughts are through dialogue.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you have to, but it just seems like a little bit too wordy and stuff. And I don't know, I always been more about the visuals and stuff. You know, like I was talking about in panels with the wide shot of the town and stuff. And,
you know, a good manga series, I think that the only one I can recall reading for the most part that didn't really have that problem with a lot of words was actually the creator of Naruto has a new manga out because he doesn't do anything with Boruto, called Samurai 7. Yeah, it's a really cool, it's a cyborg samurai thing set in a different universe on different worlds and stuff, about a kid who's dependent on a machine to live, and something about 7 samurai souls. It was really good. I wish I would have kept continuing to read it, but things happened. But anyway, I remember that distinctly not having too many of the problems with like the word bubble of over explaining. Like a lot of it was just straight up action. Shots of them going somewhere and looking at what they need to do and then going off of that and going off expressions and stuff. So
yeah, maybe read my comics, link in the descriptions. You see that there's not that many word bubble. I try to keep just like 1 or 2 in each panel, and and I don't put in every single panel too.
It does get confusing when you have more than one character talking in a panel and you don't necessarily see the other character and you just got word bubbles going on.
Yeah, I had that happen to me with this one shoot, and like, wait, who's talking now? So, which is why when I create a comic book, I always had the main characters have, long, fonts, and always had a villain have a different completely font, which like in some parts they did have the villain
talking more of an italicized
font. That had a different font to it, and so
yeah,
so that helped a little bit, but there was some parts where he didn't though.
Yeah, like
I'm
when
not quite sure why
Rukia and Renji were talking, I believe was one of them, or especially when I just had his name earlier, number 1 fangirl, guys, crazy scientist of the Soul Reapers, Morori. Yeah, when he was talking, there were so many other people talking, responding to what he was saying that
it was kind of hard to keep going. It was like Rangiku like pissed him off, in which like he attacked one of the other lieutenants, the 69 guy with the tattoo on his cheek. I can't know his name.
Just
he's
69?
supposed to be like one of the most powerful people there, because they all supposed to be super powerful, and then they just get their ass kicked by somebody.
Yep.
like Renji was supposed to be like super powerful.
Yeah.
And too, and like in the fall season and stuff, and then he became like one of the weak lieutenants, and
because he always got his butt kicked, even though he was supposed to be a captain.
Yeah, and like Ikaku and like Ichigo, the first time he met him, he beat him pretty easily. Yeah, he ended up being supposed to be just as powerful as any captain.
Yeah.
And it's like he had his own Bankai and everything. It's like, wait, what? I mean, that's cool that he's super powerful now, but it's like
although
just this weird change in this from different seasons and stuff.
Although with Ikaku, he did kind of explain it that he wasn't allowed to release the Bankai, his Bankai, or tell anyone about it for whatever reason. I forget why he said he didn't want anyone to know he had it.
I think it's because if he did reveal it to people, then they would want him to be captain.
Yeah.
And like he wanted to keep becoming powerful.
Yeah.
Where like his low level be powerful enough as you know what I mean?
Yeah, that is what he said, wasn't it? That he wanted to keep training in his lower level form to get as powerful as he possibly could and have as many opponents, because if he was a captain, then frankly no one would want to fight him anymore.
Yeah.
Alright, well, we'll see you guys in the news. Welcome to the news. In Disney, Star Wars, Marvel news, we have Star Wars has revealed the official name of Boba Fett's spaceship, formerly known as Slave 1. The name was quietly debuted in a press release about the current Star Wars crossover event, War of the Bounty Hunters. It is now called Fire Spray.
Yeah, Fire Spray. Yeah, I just don't see the point in this. I mean, was anyone complaining about the name of the ship before?
I don't even know if people knew what the name of the ship was before.
Because, I mean, it didn't say in the actual movies or anything, so...
Alright.
Yeah, I know that the guy who played Boba Fett in, like, the reissue of the original Star Wars and stuff, that he'd been on, like, Instagram, Twitter and stuff, talking about how, it's Slave 1. It'll always be Slave 1. No, he's pretty pissed off about it, but yeah, it was one of those things, like, okay, I mean, what does this do now that it's called Fire Spray?
Why couldn't you have thought of a different, cooler, if you're gonna make a political point, be like freedom fighter, killer, you don't own me, Fire Spray?
Fire Spray.
Just can't imagine Boba Fett giving a shit enough about a ship to name it, really?
Yeah.
If I recall right, in The Mandalorian, he wasn't too upset when his ship was a ship, kind of thing. Star Wars Visions is set to debut its first anime series in September. The first trailer for the anthology series has gone live. It showcases some of the best animation from Japanese studios Trigger, Science, Soru, and Disney Plus will launch the show with an English and Japanese dub. I am super excited to watch that.
Yeah, and then the official one, because we went over the teaser trailer one in a previous podcast, and on official trailer, I was kind of like, at first when this came out, was like a little iffy, like, I don't know about this, but the official trailer really got me like pumped for it and stuff, and
which means I probably love it, because I was already in love with it when I saw the first one. I was like, oh yeah, this looks awesome, so I'm going to be over here drooling at the mouth.
Yeah, and the only thing I saw that kind of sucked about it was that there was a black and white clip of one of the shorts, and it looked like it was that 3D Photoshop to look 2D, and I'm like,
yeah,
I don't like that and stuff. And like, either be 3D or 2D.
One or the other.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes they can pull it off to make it look alright. The only time it ever annoys me is when, like in I'm a Spider, So What? Wonderful. It's just sometimes they had 3D models to save money, and I was just like, no, why are you doing of main characters though? Because I mean, people do it for background characters, and it's like, okay. But this was like some of the main characters in fight scenes would be a 3D model, and I'm like, no. And then switch back to 2D, and I'm like, no.
There was a Netflix. I only watched like one or two episodes. I can't quite remember what it was called, but it had one of the main characters had like an alligator head.
Oh, Doro.
Yeah, something like that. And like when I first watched it, was watching it, like, is this 3D or is this 2D? Like, it was really hard, and what I had got on what it was doing is that it had a pretty basic 3D model, and then they actually went in and drawed over it in pretty detailed 2D. So just like some of those 3D Photoshop to look 2D was literally just them putting a crappy Photoshop filter on it and to make it look 2D. And this one felt like it was like rotoscoping, to a point and stuff. So I'm like, I guess this could be alright, but after that, once I realized what they was doing, I couldn't watch it anymore. So I'm like, now I'm on.
The only 3D anime I've watched that I liked was Beastars. Even at first it was kind of weird, it grew on me. But the whole show's in 3D, so you don't have that weird, randomly someone suddenly in 3D and their movements are really clunky kind of thing.
Like really stiff almost and stuff.
Because they're trying to apply like actual physics to it,
Yeah.
instead of anime physics, which is non-existent most of the time.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about Star Wars Visions. We will do a review on that or do something with that. I always kind of suck when it's like a TV series because it's like released 1 week and then the next week. Like it's just kind of hard to write something like that. But we'll probably do something about it because we both really excited about it.
Yeah, well, especially since they're one-shots. So it might be easier to do like some Geeking Round Lights and like that, especially if an episode's really interesting.
Yeah, but if you want to see more Star Wars animes kind of stuff, check out my comics. Link in the description.
If you want to see a hot Yoda, I still remember the first time I was reading it. I was like, because it was before he'd actually gone through and wrote any of the text in, and I'm like, Michael, is this one of those scenes that I'm reading about currently in my Monster Lovers Tumblr feed? Why is there a hot goblin? He's like, it's Yoda. I'm like, oh, I see it now, but without the text in there, I was just like, this really hot goblin. He's gonna attack the main character, right? Dominique Thorne will play Ironheart in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. She had previously been announced as the MCU's Riri Williams for the Hero's self-titled Ironheart series. Ryan Coogler returns to direct. He was the director for the first Black Panther movie in 2018. I look forward to that one.
I guess this is a pretty new character because I never even heard of him. But I guess a pretty new character that kind of like the newest Spider-Man Peter Parker that Iron Man gives this kid who's a super genius like Iron Man funding so she can create her own Iron Man suit, and that's how she becomes Ironheart and stuff.
Yeah, cool. Very cool.
One cool thing though related to Black Panther, Marvel did a new animated series called What Ifs.
Yeah.
And I think a new episode came out since then, but the last one I seen was What If Black Panther was Star-Lord and stuff, and so that was pretty cool and stuff. That was actually the last performance of Chadwick Boseman.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I have to check that one out, because what did he defeat everything in 5 seconds and not have to? Because I just imagine Black Panther's. Wait, okay, is it he has Star-Lord's personality, or is Black Panther takes the place of Star-Lord?
Take the place.
Okay,
and so he's with the Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff, and
yeah, I'm sure that
much goes through the plot of the Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff.
Kind of imagine them being an unstoppable team, though I haven't seen the short yet.
Well, it didn't do the whole "he may have been your father, but I was your daddy" thing. So dumb. But Martha, scene from Batman vs Superman didn't make no sense. Well, the father and daddy thing didn't make no sense either. But yet you guys don't bitch about it.
Especially when that was an abusive father figure. Well, in the world, that scene kind of was really creepy in a way.
Like the Martha thing made sense to me, at least. I mean, I don't know why you all can't watch a movie and pay attention.
She got cell phones.
I guess that's what everyone doing when they're watching Zack Snyder's stuff.
We gotta be swiping right or left. We gotta be sending those monies.
Mm-hmm.
You can't send your next text sentence without sending them $10 worth of coin.
But yeah, I don't know, because I don't really know the character of Ironheart. I'm not sure if I'm really all that excited about the Disney Plus series. I don't know, we have to wait and see about that one.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'll at least want to see it, so. Speaking of DC earlier, the next DC Fandom. Yeah. The next DC Fandom is just around the corner, with the company already setting an October 16th date for the 2021 event. At the moment, there is no clear information of exactly what programming will be part of the total event, but it is expected to include the Batman, the Flash, Black Adam, and Aquaman, and the Lost Kingdom. Not the Last Kingdom, the Lost Kingdom.
Yeah.
Wait, the Lost Kingdom. Alright, fill me in.
Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom.
Okay, Aquaman, Lost Kingdom.
That's the whole title.
My brain, for a second there, I'm like, I didn't know that Jurassic Park was owned by DC now. Which, I wonder
when Lost World.
That is Lost World, but I could see that, because what's the next one coming out?
Nation or something.
Okay. Alright, that makes sense. But it could have been the Lost Kingdom, because, I mean, they ended with the whole T-Rex versus lion.
But, yeah, the Batman looks awesome. We haven't really heard nothing much since the last time the DC Fandom, or whatever you call it, was out. I mean, other than a few leaks here and there. The Flash, yeah, that's gonna be kind of cool, because it's supposed to be the Flashpoint, and we keep seeing like leaks of Michael Keaton from Batman, the Tim Burton Batman, is there on set and stuff, and it'd be kind of cool. Black Adam, got The Rock as Black Adam.
Yeah.
I'm kind of interested in that, mainly because of the guy who played James Bond. Now I can't remember his name. Pierce Branson.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, he's gonna play Dr. Fate, and it's kind of like the DC version of Doctor Strange. He was always a cool comic book character that hasn't really made a big screen stuff yet. He appeared in a little bit of the Justice League animated series, so each time he was on there, he was always pretty cool.
Nice.
Aquaman, I don't really care at all.
I'll just be ready for all the fan art to hit my Tumblr. Webtoon has announced a partnership with DC Comics to collaborate on an original web comic series set in the DC universe. The projects are designed as standalone series, hoping to appeal to all fans, including those with no previous knowledge of the DC universe and its history. More details, including language translations, will be revealed in the coming week.
Yeah, I guess because comic book sales are not doing great, so might as well, if you can't beat them, join and call them webtoons and stuff. So,
although it's funny, because then going into that, because I know what's on Webtoon a lot of the times, other than monster impregnation. You are a young, beautiful woman. You have been captured by a snake monster. You are now pregnant with his babies. That's just, I love women. We have such weird fantasies that we put down. But speaking of weird fantasies, Robin has come out as bisexual in Batman Urban Legends #6 issue. DC Comics confirmed Wednesday that Tim Drake dates boys. Some fans were excited, but others remained unsure. I feel like the fans who were excited were probably mostly women.
Mm-hmm.
There was actually an interesting horror story that I was listening to. Crit Crab was talking about, he's just reading some DM horror stories and stuff, and one was about a guy who is a gay man, and how he was in a Dungeons and Dragons team, and these girls just kept fetishizing gay romance to the point where it made him very uncomfortable, because they frequently make their two characters go do what they considered really hot gay stuff, and he was just like, no, that's creepy. And he was scared to tell them that he was gay because he didn't want them to do any weird shit to him, which they probably would have.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just one of those things out of blue. DC changed something that it was never revealed, it never hinted at before, and it's like, oh yeah, he's bisexual.
I did.
Okay.
I did happen to catch that on my news feed when it came out, and I did read what the lady who's pinning the comic thing said, is that he still has feelings for his main love interest, it's just this is a new way to look at him. But it's like my stance always is, that's why manga is better than comic books. Just make a new original character.
Yeah. They wouldn't make Ichigo now, they put out the new one shoot, and it's like, oh yeah, he's actually gay.
Right.
It's like they would never do that.
Well, I mean, they might, for all of us, Ichigo and Uraha Chipper. It's just a joke.
How many manga artists have done that?
Right. Yeah, that's a joke. I've heard of a few trolling them.
Webtoons.
Yeah.
Not by the actual artists and stuff, but
either they are gay or they aren't, and it's very apparent through the story. And that's the thing, though, because they could make Ichigo one of the new characters, gay or lesbian. That's fine, but that's the beauty of manga. Is manga keeps changing. Comic books, it's always the same story. I was like, oh, are they gonna have a new Robin? No.
And they could have just gotten a new Robin.
Right.
Last time I knew, Damian Wayne was the current Robin they could have made him a different Robin. Like he could have become Darkwing or something like that. I don't know.
Right.
He called himself Darkwing and became his own kind of superhero, kind of like Nightwing or something. And then Batman has to get a new Robin. Well, then he gets a new one who happens to be gay.
Right.
And that would.
And then they could probably talk about the subject in a tasteful way with a new character you don't know and talk about their struggles, and instead of just being like, yes, Tim Drake, you've known him forever, but now and the thing is too, he's just, the way they said is, he's just questioning himself and figuring himself out. It's like, I'm sure that does happen. I'm sure it does. It's just new characters. Just make new content. It's not necessarily fans being toxic, it's just give us something new then. Actually do something good and make a new interesting character. Speaking of new, Attack on Titans, the final season part 2 will be premiering in January 2022. Episode 76 of the final season will be titled Judgment. It was originally scheduled to premiere in December before a cliffhanger earlier this year. Attack on Titan is currently streaming on Crunchyroll. I had a friend I work with who said that he was going to catch up on Attack on Titan, and then he saw that it had that mid-season break, and he's like, screw it, I'll just...
Yeah, I don't really care for when they do the mid-season break stuff. Like, I think didn't The Walking Dead was the one that really started it.
I'm pretty sure they did, because I'm pretty sure that's
the first time I remember doing it.
And I'm pretty sure that's exactly what he said verbatim when we were talking about this. He goes, which I'm pretty sure The Walking Dead started. So yeah, two men have told me The Walking Dead started this, so now I'm going to assume
now
that...
I'm going to get accused of mansplaining.
Well, I'm just saying, if two men say it, obviously.
But yeah, I'm a huge fan of Attack on Titans, and I think I said in the last time we talked about it in one of the podcasts that I felt like they kind of rushed it and stuff. There was a bunch of stuff happening, and I don't know, maybe because I didn't watch the dub version. I'm dyslexic. I can't keep in time. Like they started to go talking about something else before I read the sentence. I was like, wait, what did he say?
What's going on? Yeah, Attack on Titan did move pretty fast too. Soto Emiya? Because Emiya, I want to say, because Fate, Grand Order, all that stuff. Soto Emiya, a Japanese virtual YouTuber, went viral when she openly criticized, possibly she, we don't know. Do we know if she's really a woman? I think every time I hear virtual YouTuber, I'm like, but it's really a man. Went viral when she openly criticized crime fans. Openly criticized anime fans and allegedly exposed their toxic behavior. She has since deleted her Twitter account after the controversy. The post was later deleted. Soto Emiya is now back on social media.
Yeah. So like basically what she was saying is that when she's on Twitter and stuff, that is almost always someone with a anime display profile that's always toxic. And I think I end up having to delete this part from the podcast from a previous one. I can't remember why. Oh, it was the Zack Snyder Cut review where the audio, when we actually recorded, the audio messed up, and I went back just to do the review and not the news. But there was supposed to be a part in the news where actually manga artists were getting attacked by Twitter accounts with anime, and one of the things they say, don't allow these people or look out for these type of people, and having an anime character as your profile picture and to say that was a warning. They warn about the toxic behavior and stuff.
9 times out of 10, I will say you're probably right. Because when I think of toxic fandoms, I think of people who get mad because Foxy is their husband and somebody else says Foxy is their husband. And we're talking about fictional characters. They're going to literally threaten to kill you over something. So yeah, it kind of checks out.
Yeah, I just want to put that in there just to show to people, like, you know, Star Wars, and like for some reasons the Snyder Cut fans aren't toxic, or there are toxic fans in it. You know, I met some, but you know, there's toxic fans in every fandom, and it's just not one specific one. And like actually, anytime I read when someone asks like which anime fans are the most toxic, usually it's always like My Hero Academia.
Yeah, for some reason that poor show has been recently. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I didn't really see why they said that, but I always see that when people are talking about anime fans, it's always My Hero Academia.
I will say it's probably because it's younger people who are watching My Hero Academia, because it is an anime. You know, it's the new anime to get into anime. It's like the Naruto. I think that My Hero Academia, the manga artist, did get... Yeah, there was a special issue of Shonen Jump where the original manga artist of Naruto drew Naruto cheering on the main character for My Hero Academia. Because the manga artist from My Hero Academia talked about how Naruto was such an influence on him. So, anyway, that is to say, it's a lot of younger fans who don't know how to human. They're like 14-year-olds, and they get on there.
Wanna, talk shit on the internet, and
Yep.
just like we did when we was get on MSN Messenger or whatever it was.
AOL.
Yeah, AOL and stuff.
Wait 20 minutes for a reply because everyone's internet sucked.
Except for that one kid from, what was it? Fear Street.
Yeah, Fear Street, who had perfect internet connection for
I still
1993.
Cannot, 94, and I still can't get over that. I talked to other people about that. I'm like, do you all remember having the internet back then? It's like, no. How did this kid have the internet?
And have enough people to have a group chat.
Yeah.
To form a little cult.
At that time, it was just businessmen and, the military having... Jeff Bezos might have. He probably was talking to Jeff Bezos.
You're right. That's who's just like, yes, my queen. It was probably Jeff Bezos posing as a woman. Yes. Damn. Kiss Anime was shut down by copyright strikes from Japanese anime rights holders 1 year ago. Many illegal pirate websites still are online, getting millions of views each month. Kiss Manga and Kiss Anime will be closed forever, according to their Discord server on August 15th, 2021. The site's beta server has been taken down.
Yeah. But yeah, this is, it's not Kiss as the band, the rock band Kiss. It's not an anime based off that. So I had a coworker who said that. He was like, wait, there's an anime based off the band Kiss? I'm like, that'd be awesome. But no, this is that website. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, really?
Yeah. It's like, you don't remember Kiss Anime? Because I remember that was
one of the biggest ones.
Yeah. That you would go on to when you...
I still see people recommending it on Facebook groups, and so how you guys watching it shut down?
Yeah. They're just remembering back in the day, and they're like, oh yeah, one of my favorite ones 5 years ago was Kiss Anime.
But yeah, I don't understand the need for these pirate websites that illegally, show anime and manga and stuff. This takes the money right from the artists and stuff.
Not anymore. Not when... back when we were younger, you couldn't watch all the anime. You could watch Naruto and stuff, and you'd watch Toonami, but if you wanted to watch anime that was new and stuff... Yeah,
outside of the Toonami, you had to, and that was the only way you could. But nowadays, they have almost everything. 99% of what coming out of Japan is out the next day here in America, and so and I know that was that the whole YouTube channel that the anime companies are creating to put anime on there. That was the whole point of that, is to get that last 5% that people can't get to put on there.
Right.
So it just, to me, I just don't understand the need for it anymore, and it doesn't cost much to pay Crunchyroll. It's actually Crunchyroll's free, really.
Yeah. And otherwise you can get most of it on Hulu or Netflix. You're probably already
HBO
watching those.
Max.
Yep. Amazon Prime, because Amazon Prime was the only one with Vinland Saga. So.
Is that Netflix?
Yeah. And Funimation is now and Crunchyroll are together now, so.
And like Kiss Manga, you know, like I downloaded recently for the one shoot, the Bleach one shoot, and saw that it's only like what $2 a month to get all of Shonen Jump's mangas and release like next day and stuff, and you know, and actually you can read a lot of free stuff on there as well, and it's like $2 a month, and that's easier.
Pretty sure that's what Samurai 7, like, I think that's part of the reason I stopped reading it, is because it was all free. Like, it wasn't just like, I expected the first volume to be free, but it was like literally every week it was releasing for free, and I'm like...
Yeah, I think they had a time thing where, because I think Bleach one shoot is about to go out.
Okay.
So like after like 1 month or something, you have to actually pay the $2 a month
to watch it.
Yeah. Or read it or whatever.
Yeah.
but yeah, it just, as a comic book artist myself, I mean, I just dislike all this stuff. I mean, as we said, like back in the day, you had to, because this was the only way. But nowadays, there's no reason.
Yeah.
Don't give me, oh, well, I gotta watch this one. It's like, also, that sounds like a stupid anime. You don't even need to watch it. It's an isekai.
Yep.
Okay.
Well,
there's a difference between that and Sword Art Online.
Now.
Well, the main character is named Didako. I mean, wow, that sounds a lot like Kyoto. Well, the main chick in it is Nasaya. That sounds an awful lot like Asya. Well,
Asuna.
Asuna. Yes, Asuna. And what happens in this anime? Oh, well, they get trapped in this video game like Ward, where they had to where there's swords and magic and blah blah, and like, and if you die, you had to come back and do. It's like, wow, that's just like Sword Online.
Now, the one that I heard was probably one of those anime that you would have to get from an illegal site, because I'm not sure. I mean, maybe Prime, because like in Netflix and Hulu, like Netflix has stuff that's MA, but it's not really MA, and Hulu I don't think really has explicit content. The only anime I could see you needing those sites for is probably the explicit ones, because I don't know where you'd find...
You go to the hub.
There you go. So, wonders of all wonders, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim is being re-released. The game's 10-year anniversary edition will include fishing, quest, and survival mode. It will be available on November 11th for the PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. Bethesda confirms foxes don't lead to treasures. Okay, I'm like, what? What are the foxes? What do you mean Bethesda confirms foxes? What are they doing to the poor foxes?
There was like a rumor for the longest time that foxes in the game will lead you to treasure chests and stuff, or important things, and it comes to find out like, no, it's not true.
Why would you? Have you ever followed a fox in that game?
I have.
Yeah, I have too. They don't lead you to shit. They're just pretty. They might lead you to polar bears.
Yeah, you know, in the off chance it might, you know, you might go past something, but yeah, they don't really lead you to anywhere. Yeah, a 10-year-old game being re-released yet again, and we're not going to get it for another 10 years, and I'm just done with the best stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, it would be fine if this was like the first time that Skyrim's been re-released, and it's like, oh guys, look at all these updates and stuff we've done for the game. No.
And it just, like, because like, I was listening to podcasts about this one huge company, and how it's still, like, the problem with it is that it's still being run like they are from, like, in the mom's basement, you know, when they first started. I feel like what Bethesda is like they can't do multiple games at a time because they're still too small of a company, you know. Like, you made Skyrim. I mean, there's no
yeah.
I mean, one of the best selling games of all time.
And Fallout.
Yeah,
and people eat Fallout up, and you have a Fallout app.
Yeah. All the Fallout crap, but we don't get nothing for Elder Scrolls.
Hey, who's the one who made Dragon Age? And I guess it was also the same group? No, Bethesda made Mass Effect, right?
No, I don't.
And the group who made Dragon Age, and there was another game that was kind of like Dragon Age. They did the same thing. they just straight up just flop on one and be like, ah, yes, here's starting up this grand adventure, and then just never continue it.
It was Microsoft, I think, was the company that I was just thinking about, because like they have like one guy working on Windows and all its updates, and you have just one guy working on the the hardware stuff or something like that. I can't remember. Yeah, one guy working on the Microsoft Office software stuff, like Microsoft Word.
Yeah. Well, you can't be a whole army.
But yeah, I just can't believe it taking this long to get to next Elder Scrolls game. You know, it's just ridiculous.
It is.
Nice. And I was just watching a video, and he only did like one level or so, but this guy, he pretty much said it took him like a week to do, recreated BioShock as a 2D platform, like for like the Super Nintendo. Like did it like in a week, and it looked pretty cool and stuff. Did Cyberpunk as well, 2077.
I still think they're in court.
Yeah, they did put out an update, a patch long ago. I think they kind of screwed themselves over them.
Yeah, I think they really did. Interestingly, a new model of the PlayStation 5 has reportedly been spotted in Australia. That's such a... Oh my god, the kangaroos. Everything in Australia. It's gonna kill us. That's what this PlayStation 5 is gonna do. It's gonna kill us. The PlayStation 5 disc version, CF11102A, includes a new screw that is adjustable by hand. It's unclear exactly what changes might have been made to the model. If accurate, it'll likely be the model seen around the world. It's gonna kill us all. No one buy that model. I am calling it now. Nothing good comes from Australia.
Well, it's not. I don't think it being made in Australia. I think it just because a lot like Apple does is they release prototypes for testing in some random country, and then you can report back to Apple like, yeah, this new iPhone 12 is awesome, release it, you know, or whatever. But yeah, I put this on here just because Gabby hates how these game companies will release one console and then like a few years later release the other one, the Pro one.
And I'm so confused as to what this one's supposed to do, because it just has a screw that's adjustable by hand.
Yeah, it could have been just a prototype, really. Yeah. That someone just had laying around, and you know, when they was working on it and stuff. So I mean, yeah, I know that there are some like computer people out there that collects a lot of prototypes, computers that like Apple and Microsoft and Dell and stuff makes, and that they collect, because after they actually put out the actual product, they just throw it to the side and like, alright, in the dumpster.
I don't need you. Yeah, I do. It's kind of like when video game releases and they have downloadable content later for things that should already be in the game, that are already in the game. You can see the files, but then they're going to make you pay to unlock it later, like characters and stuff. That's gonna chaps my britches.
Actually, Halo Infinite is going to be doing something like that, where it's only going to put out the multiplayer, but you can't get all the different multiplayer modes. Like, you get free for all, but you can't get capture the flag. It's like, okay, what? And like, you had to wait 6 months for the campaign. Okay, it was like, maybe just wait. It's like, I don't know, and it's just weird.
Yeah, that's just a way to get money. People pay for it, so might as well do it.
It's supposed to be all free.
Oh, okay. Well,
I mean, you pay for the actual game, but everything else is supposed to be free.
As long as it's free, that's skirting my rules of being a horrible person. Speaking of, don't be horrible people, guys. That's really all we had to say tonight. Yeah. This is Gabrielle Christensen signing off.
Yeah, and make sure to like and subscribe. See ya.
See ya.